The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today for our next installment of the QuickStore University webinars. We want to thank you for coming and joining us today. We're going to be walking through just some very simple techniques in QuickStore Express to take advantage of some of the tools that we offer, some of them using some peripheral devices, which I will walk you through. And show you some of which you guys might have, but also we are offering a new type of device that we want to offer to you guys, and show you a little bit about how it works and what the best use of it is. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. If you have any questions about what we see, we're more than happy to answer them for you either over the phone or via email. You can always email sales@quickstore.com or give us a call on our 800 number. And we'd be more than happy to answer any questions about what you see here. We will also make this webinar available for you to view later. It will be available at the beginning of next week on our website for any future reference if you'd like. But we're going to go ahead and jump into what we're going to take a look at today. And one of the main things I wanted to point out to you is that we are going to start offering a new type of input device for when you're moving customers in. And in the past, we have offered a card swiper, which you can see pictured here. Now you can see in the picture, this is a USB device. And what this can be used for, this can be used to process credit cards. It can read magnetic access cards for your gate. But it can also read, and this is what we want to show you today, this can also read the magnetic stripe on the back of a driver's license. So if in your state, the back of your license has a magnetic stripe and not a barcode, but an actual magnetic stripe from the top, on the top side from left all the way to right, you will be able to swipe that driver's license and have it populate the information into QuickStore Express. You can see the stripe that I'm talking about here. It would look similar to this on the back, just like a credit card would have, and here we have a credit card being swiped here. But so this is a device that we have offered for some time, obviously, to process credit cards. But it doesn't just do that, and we want to show you how to make use of it if you have only been using it for credit cards. But the next thing that we wanted to show you was a new product that we're offering called the Card Scanner. And this is also a USB device. It's pictured here without its cable attached. But this is a small type of scanner that can read not only driver's licenses, but it can also read checks. Now, it doesn't process checks electronically, but I will show you what it can do and how it can save you time, and that it is a neat little device. But as you can see here, you can insert a driver's license upside down. This does not have to have a special stripe on the back. Any type of license, United States license, will work. And this software that's built into it will be able to recognize and pull all of the information off the license and drop that directly into QuickStore. And as you can see here, it also reads checks, so it can read and pull the check number and the account number off the check. And it will also save a copy of the check, as you can see here. And if your bank accepts electronic transmittals, then you can go ahead and send those to your bank as a form of depositing the check, and you don't have to make the trip to the bank anymore. So just a couple of the features that are available with this new device. And so I want to jump right in and show you how it works, but this is the two devices that we're working with. Again, I want to make sure we're clear on the difference between this card scanner, which I will refer to it as the scanner, and then the card swiper, which I will refer to as the swiper. So we'll get out of this PowerPoint right here and get back over to QuickStore Express, which is something that I know you guys are all very familiar with. But we're going to start off just by showing you how easily you can put in the information using the card swiper. Now I'm going to go ahead and select a vacant unit, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to move someone in. Now here at this screen, this is traditionally where you begin to type in, but down here at the bottom you have this option to read or scan a driver's license. So we're going to go ahead and use the swipe this first time. And I'm going to go ahead and swipe the driver's license through. And it's reading. And just like that, it's going to go ahead and populate all the information into here automatically. So we have the customer's name, address, And on this screen, it also grabs the driver's license number and also puts in the sex of the tenant. So instead of having to type all this information in and verify with the customer with just that quick swipe, you've done the same thing in a much shorter amount of time, and you've saved them some time, saved yourself some time, and now you're on to taking that payment. Of course, I have already put myself in here, so it will show up as someone who else is in here. But we'll go ahead and all you have to do at that point is take the rent payment. I'm not going to do that just because I don't need to move myself in here one more time, but you can see how that can be used. Now I want to go ahead and show you how the scanner works. Now I'm going to, this time, select the card scanner and put the license into it over here on this side. So it's scanning right now. It's done. It just dropped the license out of the back. And as you can see, it's going to pop everything up. So we have all the same address, contact information. And then we'll go ahead and take our rent payment. And I want to show you what this little device does in addition to putting the information in. So we'll go ahead and complete our move-in process. We'll take cash. Now at the end of this, it's going to ask us if we want to save the card image, which will store an entire image of the driver's license, or just the picture of the tenant. We'll go ahead and save both. Now in the future, you can have this where it will not ask you each time, but for our demonstration purposes, I did want to leave this so you can see it. But we'll go ahead and select yes, and we'll go ahead and see that it's moved that person in, moved me in. And here's a copy of the driver's license, which you can see here in full blown up view. I know that's a horrible picture of me, but that's what driver's licenses are for. So you have all the customer information here, and you can see this, and it's got a pretty good resolution. And then you also have a close-up of the picture from the driver's license. Now, if you wanted to get a one of the other features that we wanted to show here in the quick photo module, which will allow you to store up to 4 pictures of a tenant, the camera that comes with the module can be used to capture an updated picture. Like in this case, this picture is quite old of me, and so you would probably want to get an updated picture, which the quick photo module from Express does include a webcam, and I have this set up pointed towards one of our lovely Guardian keypads right behind me here, as you can see. But we'll go ahead and take a picture of that, and we're going to associate that with this tenant's picture, this tenant's file as well. So now we have 3 images stored on that tenant's record, and this is someone that I did just move in. So at any time, if you ever needed to check for reference, you can of course look at these. Now, what you can also do with the photo module is that you can load an image. Let's just say you have a scanner that you want to maybe scan an image of a customer's insurance or a registration card for a vehicle of some sort. You can load an image from anywhere on your hard drive by clicking this button and putting it on here, and it will store that on here as well. And deleting them is just as easy as selecting delete. If you select a picture, you can also save it to a different location, print it, email it, so on and so forth. So pretty straightforward there. But the point we wanted to make is that these are some very helpful time-saving features that if you think about how much time you spend typing in the customer's information and you spread that across as many move-ins and inputs that you do throughout a month, something simple like this gives you a lot of time. It will also grab all the correct information off the card to make sure that there's no errors taking place, and that's of course all going towards improving efficiency here. Now I want to show you how you can take a check payment with this scanner as well. So we're going to go ahead and just take a payment for a customer here. This person is delinquent, so we're going to go ahead and select to take a payment, and we'll just go ahead and take a 1-month payment for $58.
I'm on, but Aaron's having some.
Now, normally I'm going to go ahead and select. I'm going to go ahead and select cash or check, sorry. And
funds that are being sent to Yep, so through Quick Store,
we're going to
but
go ahead
not ever
and
happening
hit
in Quick Store.
back, and we're going to go ahead and hit
Really awesome.
scan
And
check
it all
here.
looks like Quick Store issues.
I'm going to go ahead and insert the check into the scanner, and it's going to scan that check. And the information that's going to pull off that check is going to populate this area right here. So it's going to give us the check number. It's also going to give us the account number. Now it does scan both sides of the check so that you can, so that the bank can see, and then you probably would want to have verified it on the back. Check's a little longer than a driver's license. That's why it takes just a second longer. So now that that information has gone through, it'll bring up a folder in which you want to save it to. So we're going to go ahead and select Scan Checks, which I saved on my desktop. And we've taken that payment. So we have check number 99 and the bank account number, which I can verify, 855-76-8842. And that is exactly what's written there. So we'll go ahead and accept this payment. In any future reference, if you pull up that transaction history, that information is listed right there. It was check number 99 and the bank number. This information will also be listed on the bank deposit that you would run. And so if you ever needed to, if you had a check that was the same number, you can also reference it against the account number there as well. Now what the software does is it does place the images of those checks on your computer for future reference. And again, as I mentioned, I saved it to a folder called Scan Checks, which it saves right here. So you can see that it's got the date on here, 3/22/2011, and you see the check number listed here, and so that's how you can tell the difference. But if you click on the image, it's going to show the exact image of the check. Now, this just happens to be a test check that we had. But you see the whole image of the check to the customer, and if your bank allows it, not all banks are doing this yet, but you can send in an electronic submittal, which is just an image of these checks, and so you send it as one submission to them, and that would be in place of going to the bank. So that's just one of the other neat little features of that scanning device. So real quickly, just going over again how these things can save you guys a lot of time in the process, and if you are not using the swiper for the input of your customer's information, that's certainly something you should take a look at. It will save you time on a monthly basis, which is always a good thing. And of course, keeping track of your tenants' information using their photos is always a good thing as well, because you one, know what they look like and can recognize them when they come in. But if there's ever any type of security issue involving one of your tenants possibly, it's always good to have a record of what your tenants are in case there's a discrepancy of someone accessing the unit or coming through the gate that wasn't them. And so by keeping that on file, you are protecting yourself and making sure that you can deliver the highest level of customer service. Now, another thing that we want to make sure that we bring up is that when you take credit card payments, the software does not require that you use a card scanner or card swiper, I'm sorry. But if you do, it certainly cuts down on the possibility of user error and the wrong information being put in. So using a swiper like this to take a credit card payment, which I'll demonstrate for you real quickly, you can of course type this in, which is great for when a customer calls in, but if you have the card in hand, it's always a better idea to use the card swipe, and so it drops that information in there immediately and saves you time putting it in. And you can of course be sure that you're getting the best rates from your bank, and by using the swipe, because it does note that card was swiped instead of keyed in. So now of course the software is going to ask if you want to save the transaction for a future charge, which you can set up auto pay, or instead of having to swipe it each time, they can just elect to use the same card they used last month. But we'll go ahead and select yes, and you can see we got the authorization, and that's it. The customer's payment has been updated, They are no longer delinquent. They're now paid through May 1st, and they paid today. So one of the things that we wanted to offer to you guys as a thank you for coming and checking out some of these couple tips is that we are going to be offering a special package if you do not have the card swiper or the card scanner or the photo module. We are going to be bundling them together at a special price for you. And if you have one or the other already, we'd be more than happy to put together a package to get you what you need at a discounted price. But please feel free to send us any questions to either sales@quickstore.com or give us a call at 800-321-1987, and we'd love to take care of you in any way we can. But thanks so much for joining us today, and again, just some helpful things to save you some time in the long run. Have a great day today.